In May of 2017, with swollen waters from the spring rain, we did the Magnetewan Loop, a 5-day trip covering 80 kilometers and 14 portages.
We're here at our put-in, the start of a 5-day trip up on the Magnetewan River. Water's high, as you can see by the boat launch here. Pretty swollen up. We'll see how it goes. I'm with Two Fish Johnny.
On day 1, we put in at Wawashikesh Lake. We had a 2.4 kilometer portage over the Canal Rapids and Grave Rapids sites. We then paddled through Trout Lake and ended our camp for the night at Mountain Chute.
Just coming up to the entrance of the Magnetewan River but this is the end of the big water for us. It wasn't too bad, a little bit of wind, not too bad of waves. Hopefully it's going to get a little bit smoother from now on. Just the first opening part of the Magnetewan, and then we've got to find Deep Bay, find our portage before we get flushed into the canyon. Just at the start of our 2.2 kilometer portage. So we're following the logging road. We came up to this bridge that goes right across the canyon. That's pretty cool. And we're about centered in the canyon now. So we just finished the 2200 plus the 500 meter port. We're back on the Magnetewan. You can see Graves shoot up ahead here. We had the portage around. Water is crazy high, but we should be able to paddle for a little while with the river. those who did not make the rapids. Okay, there's our South Magnetawan junction. And we're taking the west branch. Just our campsite for the night. We're going to be hammocking it. We're right above what's called the mountain chute. It gets a little bit more impressive when you're right in the canyon. And I think when we're portaging tomorrow, we'll take a little break and do some photos of the actual canyon inside. This is going to be a pain in the ass tomorrow, this portage. It goes up that big hill there quite a ways, so lots of elevation. We walked the trail just to check it out before we ended up camping here for the night. Hopefully the water will put us to sleep. 20 kilometers plus, you know, our 2,800 meters in portage done 3 times, so that's like 7-8 kilometers of walking. We're both pretty tired. Sunset on night 1. Really pink sky out there, matched with the chute. It's pretty nice.
On day 2, we portaged around Mountain Chute and had to portage 2 other swifts, which indicated could be run, but given the flow, we had to portage around them. Third portage at 3 Snai Rapids gave us a little bit of break, following a 2.4 kilometer portage around $30 Rapids where we camped for the night.
Well, it's a morning of day 2. Looks like it's pretty nice out there. And we're gonna have breakfast. Johnny's still asleep. We'll see what's gonna happen. Today we have I think 16 kilometers of travel, but 4.5 kilometers of portaging. So it's gonna be a brutal day. Starting off with that wonderful hike up and over the mountain over there, around the mountain chute. Should be good. I'm going right? Couldn't see the flag. I don't know where the best put in is. I guess it's over here. This is a mountain chute. And again, water levels are way higher than normal, but pretty impressive. I don't think I'd want to be on that in a playboat or anything. So we're off from Mountain Chute, and we've got a 1 kilometer paddle until our next portage. We sure ran it. Well, what was described as a 40-meter portage turned into a 250-meter bushwhack. Normally they just lift over the rapids that were just shot, but the water level was way too high, so we had to get up around it and over a ridge. Actually, it took quite a bit of time. To kneel. We're on Island Lake, and this is a super pretty lake. It doesn't hurt that the sun came up. Free Sny Rapids. Try to stay near the shoreline. out. Another dead soldier. $30 rapids. And we got a 2,400 meter trail. Night 2. We're just sitting here at the end of $30 Rapids. We had a little bit more ambitions to get down to the next set of portages. That's 1370 meter portage, but we just got killed today. Every one of the so-called swifts that you could run, we had the portage around. And it's because of that time of year. The water's just so high. Everything is an absolute torrent. And even in the regular portages, we're finding that, you know, where you would normally put in, we have to take the canoe and drop it, you know, another 200, 300 meters beyond that point, because, you know, there's just so much volume and so much rapidity of that flow that we can't deal with what's going on. So we called it a little bit early tonight. We're hoping that when we get to the South Magnetewan tomorrow, it'll be a little bit easier going for us.
On day 3, we left $30 Rapids, entered the 1,400 meter American Trail Dam portage that brought us to the South Magnetawan. From there we hit Timberwolf Lake, Wasagami Lake, Cece Lake, and camped out at Lone Tree Lake.
Well, day 3. We're at the bottom of $30 Rapids. And it's a warmer night. Slept in a little bit last night. Put in here, and we've got a 1370 meter port, about a kilometer down. Still got to break camp, eat breakfast. It was a really tiring night. This whole frothy place. We got a little foam whirlpool up ahead here. So we're off from $30 Rapids to our next portage about a kilometer away. These activities here. These little dark little dots, I think they're black flies emerging. We just finished the 1370 meter. Felt more like 1500, but it's a nice little spot. We lugged the barrels over. We just got the canoe to go get. canoe is halfway through. It's about 600 meters back there. So we're on the South Magnetawan proper now. Yay! We get to turn right! Yeah, we just pulled up to the Wazagami portage. It's about 12-kilometer paddle since we took off from that 1,500 meter portage earlier, so it's been about 2 hours paddling straight. Now for a 70 meter. Taking a lunch break at Wazagami Lake. Well, this is our put-in. It's a steep drop and there's nowhere else around the lake where it isn't a cliff. So it'll be a ginger little exercise on this one. 40 meters. We thought this was going to be a piece of cake, and it's going to be a really challenging portage. So on our first portage, there's fields and fields of these fresh ramps or wild leeks. So I picked about 12 or 13 of them, cleaned them up, and I'm gonna have them in my pasta sauce tonight, chopped up. Johnny's making blueberry bannock.
On day 4, we made our way to Little Wilson Lake, followed by about a 1.2 kilometer portage between Little Wilson and Makakaway Lakes. Then what turned out to be a 1,700 meter portage into Bulger Lake, where we camped for the night.
Morning 4. And she is nice and smooth out. We got a pop just up to that very end. We've got a little 10-meter haul, and then it's on to 6 portages today. So we're on Bulger Lake now. We just had, according to the map, it was a 1380 meter portage. We had a real lot of trouble trying to find the trail. We ended up getting out by this cabin and following a road up until we had a launch, and that was 1700 meters, so it was a little bit longer than expected. We're both pretty beat. We're going to try and find a campsite here on Bulger Lake tonight and finish our day 4 right where we were supposed to finish.
Our last day, day 5, we left Bulger Lake, followed by approximately 1 kilometer trail into Bear Lake, a few small portages between Maple Lake and Wawashikish Lake, where we exited the park.
Alright, it's day 5 and we're on Bulger Lake. We have 13 kilometer paddle back to our put-in. Alright, so we're just in the middle of Bulger Lake, but the sun's coming out and the clouds got a really cool reflection pattern off of the water. Pretty neat. Maple Lake. Doesn't look like bacon. Bottom end of Maple Lake. Last portage point, 277. Little stream here. And we're just on the last couple 100-meter paddle to the put-in. 5 days, really 4.5 days. I think it was a good trip.
For a more detailed description of this route and more, check out Kevin Callan's book, Top 50 Canoe Routes of Ontario. This is what we used to plan our trip.